Hello guys, welcome back to another live stream. How is everyone doing? Happy Saturday everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, it depends where you are. And thank you for joining, thank you for spending the time with me. So it's another live stream, another weekly analysis. So today we are going to take a look at what may happen for next week and to review a little bit what happened last week, right? In order to make those predictions of where price may go or key levels, zones that you may want to pay attention to in order to look for opportunities, right? So big week. Last week it was a big one, so lots of movements. Key levels that I've been looking at for quite a few while, they have been reached last Thursday, Thursday, after the CPI data that came out on Wednesday. So it was worse than expected, 1.3% month to month, 9.1 year to year. So yeah, still not top, and still maybe expecting to keep increasing a little bit more. Some of them, they try to say that the gas prices, they are way lower than it was 1 month ago, so most likely is going to decrease the cost of the products. However, let's see where it's going, right? So big news. This was basically here, the CPI. We are looking at the dollar index. We are going to be taking a look at dollar index, the major FX pairs, maybe a little bit of the indices, and we always finish with crypto. With Bitcoin and Ethereum mostly. And if you guys want me to take a look at any other pair, feel free to ask for. And if you have any questions, if you want to interact with me, feel free to comment. And we are going to discuss the key levels, key zones that you may are looking at. The last 2 Saturdays it was a little bit more interactive. I had lots of fun doing it, and that's how I plan to. Hopefully, that's how it's going to end up happening in the live streams in the near future. So let's get started. So dollar index, right? What do they have? I have these channels in here. Don't really pay attention to them, but they are there. And what we see here in green, actually, it was kind of my game plan for yesterday. It didn't happen. I was waiting for this low to be broken, and hopefully price would make a deeper retrace above this high, and then I'll try to look for the sell. Like the break of this low would kind of open space for price to get maybe close to this level. I was even considering that, yeah, maybe this trend line, and this is usually how I start looking at trend lines. It's not to trade them, but to be aware of a possible zone that price may retrace from, just because a lot of people use trend lines on their analysis. So this could be kind of a good zone for price maybe to bounce from, and maybe now to continue to the downside, right? This end up being an engulf to the downside, the break of this low, and this could be a way for that to have that retrace for then price to continue. Yeah, but that was my game plan. Yesterday we had a little bit of data, a little bit of volatility, but price just decided to stay always underneath this level in here, all across the major FX as well. So in reality, I was not looking for selling here because I don't really trade dollar index, but I was looking for longs on Aussie and pound mostly. That has been the pairs that I've been paying more attention to this week, and of course dollar yen and maybe dollar franc Swiss, which really didn't give me the entry either. If you take a look at the bigger picture, so key zones that I've been looking at, on dollar index particularly, it hasn't really reached that level that I've been mentioning, the 110. It did got close to that level. However, it did broke one particular zone in there, one particular high or left shoulder. Let me go there on the daily. Just go there to the back. If you guys know any faster way to move across the trading view charts, just let me know, because It's a little bit tedious. So the zone that I've been looking at, it's actually where that circle is. So we finally took these highs in here. Basically this high already reacted from that high, so basically left shoulder has been taken, and we had this one in here, right? This small high, and in the end that final high, and this is actually eventually a little bit higher is where I'll be looking for, and that I've been kind of mentioning, that 110, 111, something like that, above this high, right? That's exactly eventually where I want to see price going, maybe just in the future. But however, price did took this one in here, right? Price did take this one. I wish I had lower time frame data to check in it, because I really believe that maybe on the 4-hour or 1-hour time frame, what we would see in here is that this high, like there will be some kind of decision point or supply zone in here that is still fresh, because this high never really touched it. This is actually one of the zones usually when I'm looking for sales within the highs. I always try to find where is that last zone that price never really reacted from, just stayed a little bit below, and just the small fake out of this high, it's enough kind of to trigger the sales in there. However, the only thing I can see is this big spike in here, because I cannot have access to the 4-hour or 1-hour. But I do imagine that there is kind of a fresh supply in there, where price reacted from on the lower time frame. So that's a nice level, just taking out this one and price reacting from there, and after that you went down, right? So that's exactly what we had in here. Another really amazing situation that occurred this week. It was the week that euro dollar went below the parity. And if you still don't believe that how these markets are controlled by algorithms, just pay attention to what actually happened across mostly how the FX pairs exactly at this time, right? At around 2:30 to 2 p.m. 2:30 UK time on last Thursday. Basically, the moment that we had that move below the parity on euro, we also had basically that low is the same low on the pound dollar, Aussie dollar, and so on and so forth, which is the same high on the dollar index, dollar CAD, I think even dollar yen, and so on and so forth. It's basically all of them have been creating exactly at the same point, exactly the point that that euro dollar created that spike to the downside. It was actually quite predictable that euro dollar would make that move. We'll take a look at it in a bit, but yes. So that spike up, this spike up on dollar index, spike down on the dollar and euro dollar, and the rest of the pairs, it occurred in here exactly at around 2:30 to something p.m. UK time on Thursday. After that, we started to move to the downside, and while on this daily time frame, it's a nice zone for the dollar index to react from. And the question for now, kind of that I'll make is if dollar index is now ready to reverse from here. Are we going to have now a deeper retrace? I don't mean this is still the final higher high. Overall, and in the bigger picture, I think the Eurozone is in a worse situation than America. So I still expect more weakness as well on the euro. Euro as well hasn't really reached that final zone at around 0.96 or 0.95. But for now, I actually kind of can see price having some of a deep retrace for the next maybe few weeks, maybe until the Fed. The next Fed meeting is going to be on the 27th of July. We have ECB press conference, I think, next week. So expect more volatility, but you may see that turn. Let's see. If you do break this, first of all, that I wanted to see be broken, it was this one. Next one, of course, maybe this one. However, don't really think that there's nothing special in there. I could see actually price going all the way lower to the downside, a little bit more to the downside, and maybe retesting this zone in here before maybe continue to the upside. That's a little bit more of what I'm looking for. Maybe even retesting this low could be an interesting target as well for the sales from now. So basically filling this space. Let me just do it first. This green scenario in here. Just delete all this. What do you guys think on the dollar index? Are we ready to? Is it going to just continue? It's going to open again and continue to the upside, or are we close to a reversal in here? Delete this part as well. Just throw this one in here. Okay, good. Yeah, and I could see price filling this range. I think that could be an option, and with maybe main focus of starting looking maybe for longs again under test of this area. So yeah, price going somewhere close by here, it would be actually quite interesting. It would be even interesting to see this zone being broken without even filling the space, and then price going higher. And now, yes, now take that that high that I kind of want to see being taken, react from there, and then it goes down. Because this break of this low, it will kind of open the door for the future. However, price could still go higher and then have that deeper retrace. That could be interesting to happen. I would actually like to maybe see this trend line maybe holding price a little bit, and in order to come and collect the orders maybe from here. You can see now, I think it's quite clear. You can see how we have all these highs in here, right? So if you start understanding how usually price moves, right? Price reverses, it leaves a zone in here somewhere, maybe get close there, and then it's going to make decisions, going to go straight away there and then go down, or it's going to kind of keep playing within this lower zone in here, right? Keeps playing within this underneath this zone, and then goes down, and we retrieve this zone for the future. And this is actually quite nice. If you are just looking to enter in here, a little bit like I do, you have to be aware that maybe while we are waiting for that retrace in there, that may not happen in the moment. So most likely we are going to just miss, unless you try to to find some opportunities still somewhere in here to catch that move to the downside, because that can happen. Price is not doesn't need really to go here straight away. You can actually leave that zone for the future, and it's just going to playing around this level, create new lows, and then and then in the future it's going to eventually go there and reverse. But those are two zones, nice lows in there. Even this small supply that was just taken with this week in here, I think that was the new when during some news event, 3 p.m. or something like that, during the consumer confidence. So it's no longer fresh. Maybe still something in here for price to react from. But let's see. I do like this level now. It's quite clear that this zone looks nice for the future. So that's actually again where I'll be looking for to join the move to the downside. Maybe just in here on Monday, wake up, go down, maybe even break this low before actually goes under trace, something like that. If you do break this level, even before collecting the orders from here, that's maybe the trade in there, right? Maybe do break maybe this level, and after that, maybe that's going to be the trade. Price goes there and reverses like this. So it just depends if this zone is still fresh or not, what zones are being broken on the way, and try to find that space and the most high probability zones that price may retrace to collect the orders that are still available. We do have these two left shoulders as well. I think you can see them here. I have this one. This was created last Friday. No, this was created last week with the with the CPI data. So it's actually a really nice zone as well, maybe to look for shorts. Maybe even above this one, so maybe there's still some order somewhere in here, or it could be used just in the future, something like this, and now take it and goes down, right? It's a key level as well. This line is going to be a key zone as well to look for shorts aligned with this level. If not now, price can still fake out and then can be used in the future. So I expect some pinpoint price touching that line almost to the pip eventually to go short. Yeah, what else can I see in here? Still aware of that situation in there, but for now I actually can see price holding in here. It's actually a nice PA in here because mostly one of the setups that I'm always saying, literally that double top break, right? And then the final fake out, right? And we do have that one, right? We have that one like this, and we have the break, and then we have the fake out, and now price is ready to go, right? So in terms of the PA aligned with this area, it's kind of similar. You can even check it exactly on my first YouTube video that I shared almost 1 year ago on the euro-dollar setup, when I predicted the high back in April, May last year, something like that. After that, price just been dropping, but the setup, it was similar. It's something like this, and eventually you can even start predicting the kind of the Quasimodo pattern to be like this, right? So it will be even maybe nicer to see price retracing to the highs even before breaking this low again, so then you can use it as this Quasimodo, as this pattern. But yeah, pattern, if you start understanding exactly how price moves and the zones that are fresh or not fresh, or where price should go, and the pattern is just kind of as a consequence of those zones. It doesn't really need to. I'm not really trading the Quasimodo pattern by itself. I'm trading the zones, and as a consequence, because those zones are fresh or not, and we need the break of the lows to open space for the future. That's how eventually kind of the pattern ends up being created. So yeah, try to reverse engineer the pattern itself instead of just looking for the pattern for that last leg of trading the pattern, which is kind of just this option to sell it here. Understand the orders, understand where maybe price go, what is still fresh or not. So yeah. Still drinking coffee. Okay guys, if you have any comments about this, feel free to ask. Feel free to let me know in the comments as well, even if you are watching the recording of me. And if you do, thank you so much for taking the time as well. If you're getting value from it, let me know in the comments. And give me your feedback, how I can make it better for you. So dollar index, that's my view. I think we may be ready to fill this space, this green box, play by zone still. And if we eventually get all the way to these lows, I'm not sure if this what I'm going to be looking at. I'm not going to be looking to buy at these lows. I'm going to be looking for them to be faked out and maybe to join to the upside, or even just retest off here. That's usually how I like to look for those opportunities. So yeah, that's my view in here. So I think we may be ready for that. Maybe at least 1 week, 2 weeks of a move to the downside on the dollar index. Maybe until the 27th of July, when the Fed on the next FOMC meeting. Yeah, but next week as well, I think there's ECB. So ECB GDP data for the second quarter, and the FOMC. I think it's kind of the most important data that we're still going to see until the end of the month. So if we move on now, actually before going even to the other ones, so let's take a look at the indices, what the S&P and the Nasdaq have been doing, and what actually stood out to me during these moves here on the bottom. Again, yeah, we did create this move in here. This was CPI, and then that move in there. If you take a look at the S&P and Nasdaq, I think you're going to already notice what I have in here. So the key point actually is this demand zone in here, this one. And when did S&P, Nasdaq actually reacted from here? So Nasdaq came straight away all the way down. It reacted from this demand and it has been respecting it. It actually created now this one in here. That's where price reacted from. We may even consider this one as a left shoulder. So this can actually be the pattern again. Something like this, all right. However, on the S&P, this demand was left behind during all these periods. Right, as you can see, price had been reacting just from these lows, and it left completely the demand zone for the future. And because this demand was still fresh on the S&P and on the on the Nasdaq has been already reacted since these guys in here, since beginning of July. On the S&P, we still had this fake out of these lows to collect the orders that were left behind in here, and on Nasdaq, price just remained within this level, and it shoot to the upside from there, right? So this is how you can combine correlation between assets, even when they basically are almost 100% correlated. Basically, every move to the upside on Nasdaq is visible on the S&P, and so on and so forth, and the opposite as well. However, there are still key zones that maybe you can see that price hasn't touched yet, and it may go there just in the future. So that's how you can still combine or be careful, paying attention on how to trade, which pair to choose in a specific moment to trade by collecting the data that you have on both pairs. Maybe it's a little bit similar to Bitcoin and Ethereum as well, right? Moving quite similarly. However, one does one thing while the other hasn't done that yet, so just be aware of it. That's kind of those are my indicators. I don't use indicators. I don't use RSIs, moving averages, or stochastics or whatever. These are my indicators. It's the correlation between the pairs. It's the data that I can see on the market, and which one is lagging, which one is leading, and so on and so forth. So the indices, they are ranging within this level. Maybe that's, I think I mentioned that last time, maybe that's what you're going to be seeing during this summertime, a little bit of a range market, even if price is just bouncing in between this one, if not just the smaller one, or even can have a smaller in here, maybe then the bigger one. And I think that's kind of what I'm expecting for price to be bouncing in between these zones, these levels in here. S&P, we still have this trend line. I think that trend line has been broken on the Nasdaq. However, as I mentioned before, I don't really make any decisions based on the trend line. So let's see if we do have that range. Last time we had the CPI data, for example, it was around here, I think on the 10th of June or something like that, and you see how strong the move to the downside was. We broke lows and we continued to the downside. This time the CPI data was worse as well. It was worse than expected. However, we didn't really see that momentum to carry on to the downside. Price just stayed within this level. It managed to hold. So it found a balance now. I think the market has found an agreement on price, and it's finding this range to trade within these levels, and maybe that's what we're going to see within during the summer. The volume has been decreasing. I think that has been a fact during this week. Maybe people are going on holidays, so there's a little bit less volume in the equities, and maybe because of that as well, that's when you can see some spikes occurring. So that's just a consequence of the less volume, and it has been noticed in the market. So let's take a look at the FX, right? And again, maybe with these indices, maybe we can also collect some information on how maybe to look at BTC and Ethereum. If we do break them above, maybe that's going to be which one is going to be leading, because they've been a little bit correlated as well. So maybe if you see that crypto is breaking those highs, maybe that's going to be a good indication for the indices, or vice versa. So let's take a look at majors. Okay, euro dollar, right? There you go. The move that I mentioned, the break of the parity and the retest. Because I actually tweeted like when price was here, saying exactly that. We all know what you want to do, euro. You just want to break the parity, go down, collect all these orders, and then retrace and go up again. That's basically what happened 2 hours later. You can see how this move, how boring this move was. Like you can see, usually you see this kind of behavior. Maybe I don't know, Christmas Eve or something like that, when basically there's no one trading at all, and on the more exotic pairs, not on euro dollar. This is absolutely ridiculous. What happened during almost 2 hours time in here? Just price kind of touching the parity and going higher, touching the parity and going higher, but not going really anywhere, just staying on the same spot until we saw this big spike to the downside, right? And you saw the big spike to the downside, the strong move across all markets. It's exactly when all of them moved in the same direction, creating those lows or highs that we saw afterwards. There was a chance, like when I saw this move, okay, still expecting price to come here one more time. I think this one, if price had made something like this, maybe that would be the moment that maybe the parity actually would hold. However, seeing that price was always coming back, then okay, then I literally kind of was really expecting for the fake out before any major retrace, right? And similar to this point now, if this actually is about to be taken again, it kind of go and create a new low, I'll be expecting for price to, first of all, maybe not breaking even this high. Let's see if it breaks or not on Monday. Because if we do break it, first of all, I would expect price to get a little bit closer to this level again and to go higher. And at this point, that didn't happen. Price is still kind of stayed a little bit above that level. Again, retesting the parity one more time. So expect this parity level to be touched quite a few times. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Even in the future. If you do break this high, maybe that could be a little bit of a better confirmation as well, that maybe we are ready to some retrace. Kind of just by looking at like that, maybe this level could be interesting. Almost this is compressed. This one has been taken. Yeah, almost all this looks like compressed. Yeah, there may be some still orders in here to be aware of. But yeah, and yesterday as well, it's a nice point was how this moving here was during the news. There was some volatility in there, but price really managed to hold, like this kind of demand managed to hold price up. Same way that on dollar index there was a supply in there that managed to hold price down. And then we were going to take a look at Aussie pound and so on. There was always a key zone in there that managed to hold price up, and price didn't really came closer to this level before even going higher, right? So this level is left for the future. There is some more strength, a new highs being created with the key zones underneath being left behind. So that's a good sign for maybe a reversal in there. Let's can now slowly start creating new zones of seeing these mid levels managing to hold price. It's a good sign, instead of just having the necessity to go closer to the lows before it's even reversing. So let's see, the key zone where euro reacted from, it was another level that I've been mentioning and we have been discussing in the last few live streams. So the key level was 99521, And it's exactly one of the first zones, the first time that we broke those lows from 2017. I think I did a live stream on that day, and I actually mentioned on this weekly chart, I mentioned that we had these 3 lows in there. Again, something that's not visible on the daily, but we did had out these 3 lows in there, and I kind of saw that this demand zone was still fresh, this key level in here. And this one could be a really nice, interesting zone for price to react from. We did have that level at the parity that we talked even during the last stream. There was a daily demand in there, but actually on the weekly you can see that this level is a little bit more important. Then maybe this one can be something interesting as well. However, my last zone is even expecting price to break out this and to go further down. That may be seen in the next few months. Yeah, as I mentioned in the beginning, I think the euro area is it's going to have bigger issues than US. So without that situation with the Ukraine and Russia, so let's see. I think it's going to be not an easy winter in Europe without those gas prices situation and supply as well. So let's see. Eventually, I do expect price to break this low. So in the longer term, I'm still bearish, but I could see some retracement now on the euro. So this kind of demand zone that was fresh on there on the weekly, price just bounced from that. So that level is done. So there you go. Another good level for price to react from. It's just spike from there. Strong move and price went up straight away. If I'm looking for zones to keep looking for sales, of course this will be the next one. The next one. This was the previous low that held price quite a few times. This one is already taken, so maybe somewhere in here can be interesting. Looking for IKMs, like the inverted KMs, can be interesting. Not exactly in here. This one needed to do this. I didn't really do that. KM in there. Maybe even looking at the bigger picture just to try to find out. Yeah, definitely that the retest of this could be interesting. First, this level in here can be as well on this daily chart. That supply there could be a nice zone. There was, yeah, there is this space as I mentioned. I think even on the daily you can also see it. Yeah, this week didn't really got there. There's maybe some space in there. 1 second, which one was that daily zone? This one in here, 108. Yeah, something like this, somewhere in here, that daily zone. Okay. Yeah, let's see. So this one took this guy, it's weaker. We may have this left shoulder, but aside from that, maybe price actually wants to go higher. We left maybe we have that double top as well, so double bottom, sorry, similar to what we had on the DXI, but we had a double top in there. Now we have this double bottom. Price went up, it broke it, spike, and there you go. Maybe somewhere in there. I don't know if those lows already reacted from there or not. If there's something in here for price to react from. This again, it was still a fresh zone, so nicely done. We had this double low, nice zone to react from just by the London Open yesterday. Yeah, so let's see what's next for the euro. So the zone, that zone, this maybe will be compressed. This zone as well on there. Is any orders in here? Maybe you already have this double top as well. Yeah, let's see. Let's see how price is going to open. If you manage to break this high, that could be a good indication that price wants to go and continue to go higher. Maybe even retesting this level, take the high, retest that level, and then retrace a little bit. Even just retesting the zone, then continue. That could be another option. Yeah, let's see. Let's see how price is going to open on Monday. Another one, another key zone that was respected, another one that we created quite a few walls. Just underneath that, we have this approach to the downside and a really strong. It's creating some kind of compression. Actually, it's a little bit different. There's still maybe some orders in there. One key zone that I was still looking at on this more intraday level, it was, and actually that's where I was looking for this side to go there. It was above these wicks in here to just come somewhere in here to go there. But yeah, this one was still fresh, so there you go. Price just still respected it, and price just went to downside. So another key zone where price reacted from that we have been mentioning, it was this zone there. I think on the daily or weekly you can, yeah, on the daily you can see that this week in here never really touched that level, and looking for the fake out of that. That was one of the zones as well. Eventually there's still something underneath there that price may go to, but this place in here, that was kind of actually a nice zone. I'm at home. How are you, man? Thank you. Thank you for joining. You are never late, man. How was your trade on pound that you had it open during our last live stream? So yeah, nice zone in there. Eventually price, and I'm still looking, maybe price can still even take this low as well and go a little bit further down. However, that level, there you go. It was a really nice zone just underneath this this week. It was if you take a look at this one, it's basically the top of this move. You can see it on the 5 or on the 15, so it was kind of this demand in there. It was still fresh, and then you have kind of the other one in case we break this level and you want to fill all this space in there. So that's one of the key zones. Now this is compressed again. Maybe that's one. The next one in there can be interesting, and this one is here. But for now, price did react from there. Right, it was another good zone for price to react from. Again, same moment that it occurred on euro dollar. You placed the sell on the pound on last supply zone and took 50 pip. Which supply zone? After in here, after this move down? Oh, it was in here. Was it this one? At 108.634? Well done, man. Yep, that zone was still fresh indeed. We had how these highs. The approach was good. And yeah, nicely done. I didn't catch any long, again, similar to what I mentioned before. I was waiting for a little bit of a deeper trace. Yeah, that one, nicely done. Do you just place sell limits, or are you looking for confirmation on the war time frame to approach your trade? Yeah, pound actually was the only pair that I managed to catch a trade on this bottom. I actually bought it here. As soon as I saw kind of the reversal, I bought it, but this for me was kind of just a scalp because I was actually expecting a new low. I was expecting price to okay, after this big move to downside, I could see already some rejection happening in here. Price was just reacting from a key zone that I drew it on the left side. But I was expecting price to react from and then maybe create just a little bit more of a few more lows and then to start reversing. But this was literally the low. And I literally just opened a trade in here, kind of close it somewhere in here or wherever, just as a scalp. Because if the trade that I wanted to do it in terms of looking for a major reversal, it was still by creating a new low, and then looking for that reverse. Well, the setup. Yep, that new low never happened. New low never occurred. So I just stayed away from all of this. Yeah, counter trade. But you just placed the sell limit, right? You just placed the. You had a sell limit just in there, or do you wait to see on the lower time frame if there's, I don't know, break of a low, retest and go, or even a sell stop underneath maybe this last man? Great setup in there. This is actually, it was exactly fresh, exactly to the pip there on that supply, and yeah, I can still see maybe a little bit more of a zones underneath now. Again, price managed to respect this first zone in there. It went higher even after the news. It respected in there. Yep, I was wishing to see price going a little bit further down because I think we are close to that bigger reversal. So I wanted to be in for a longer term trade. It was just not what I was expected from this one. So pound, what next? We are still kind of respecting this level. I could see this being broken. Maybe there's something in here still, somewhere in there. But as you can see, price is showing some weakness in here. Some weakness, I mean, it's kind of compressing down. There's maybe still some orders in there. I imagine that eventually, if you do have that retrace, that can be quite a fast move. Aussie is moving in a similar way, but I think on Aussie there's a little bit more of a compression comparing with the pound. Here. So use the pullback sell in there. That's how you entered. The pullback would be nice as well. Trigger and then just reverse at a better price. You wanted to flip completely. You tried to sell it and then you're trying to ping pong this pound over. All right, nicely done, mate. Nicely done. Great to see, man. Happy for you. High five, man. High five. I need to get an emoji here automatically on the stream. Make a sound. Where is it? I don't have it now. It's looking for a sound in here. Good job, man. Good job. Yeah. So what's next? Basically, yeah, this one was taken. There's maybe some orders in there. I was looking for this one. I think on the higher time frame you can see a little bit better this kind of spaces above this level in there. But eventually, now if we do take this above in the future, I'm not expecting now. I'm expecting price to move a little bit farther away from here, and maybe in the future, yes, maybe in the future we're going to have that fake out of this double low and maybe going higher. So far, this low reacted quite nicely from that demand, so it didn't really broke that demand and opening into entering into that space. So what I mean is, price respected quite nicely this zone. It didn't really came inside and reversed. If this had happened, I would expect price to start looking for ways to go even a little bit further down. But so far, it respected quite nicely. So where it go higher now? Where it go higher? So let's take a look at the bigger picture. Bigger picture. Eventually, this one could be a nice final target. Honestly believe that eventually, maybe after the break of this high, or even already after the breaks of this highs, I imagine that we may feel out this price. I imagine that we may going to feel even this one, but I even consider this one as well included. So I think we are going to be close to a setup like this. We are going to have this bigger retrace, and this can be a good target in there. This guy, because this for me, we had this low, price went up, and all this has been kind of moved that where the origin is this higher high in here, from here to all the way down. And I do believe that eventually we're going to have that massive opportunity. Is it from these lows? It could be, maybe. We still need to break some highs before maybe to have a better confirmation to look for it, but we may have that space to be filled. All this. Let's see when that happens. Send me somewhere where can you see. Of course, is saying that you use a system that shows stop losses. Yeah, that helps a lot. Yeah, man, share it with me. I don't know if on Messenger or which platform did you find me? Where usually do you see my posts? Is it Twitter? Is it on Facebook? Just let me know. Just text me. And of course you can share that with me. Yeah, send me, yeah, text me on Messenger then. If it is Facebook, just go to my profile and send me a message, and let me know. Yeah, eventually that's what I'm looking for, and that's why that anytime I'll be starting to look for longs on the pound as well. So the next one, Aussie, and there you go, another one that it finally reached that key point, right? Again, another zone that I've been mentioning for quite a while. This key level, this key zone in there. It was kind of obvious when price was here. I was still bearish. I was still saying, nope, this is not a zone for price to go higher. What I like actually from this reaction from here, which is this one, is actually this move. This for me is still an engulf to the upside. Okay, we did broke this high in here, and that for me is an engulf to the upside where price wants to go and fill that space in the future. It doesn't mean that, I think I already covered that, it doesn't mean that price will break this high, first of all, break this high, retraces and go higher. That could have been the first scenario. And it doesn't mean either that price is just going to go down, respect this low and go higher. The reason for that is we need to be aware of where this low is reacting to on the left side, and does it make sense that this low is actually the last zone that price wants to go to before maybe a bigger reversal. And how this was compressed, there's a clear space in here and a key level in there for price to go to. A little bit different from the pound. Pound is still a little bit more spaces in here, but Aussie, it's in a complete compression zone in here. This is a big compression in there. almost no space at all around here, comparing with the pound. So even this high already broke this one just before it reverses, so it's already kind of queening space, queening orders that were a little bit above it. So not even expecting kind of this side to even hold price down, maybe it's somewhere in here, some reaction, but aside from that, not even that. And on pound, on Aussie, actually, this is the first one that you actually have a break to the upside. On the euro, I think we haven't broken that high. Yep, on the euro we still didn't broken that one, and on the pound not yet. We are still kind of respecting this supply zone, and we have this one still in here. But on the Aussie, apparently we did broke this high. So there you go. Maybe a good confirmation. And the zone, there you go, right? The 0.668. Initially I was mentioning around the 0.67, but it was just kind of a make it as a rounded number. And the reality is that we had this nice zone in here, right? So we had all these highs, and that's kind of maybe where was enough for price, maybe just below this low. Actually, I was still looking a little bit farther down, but that was already a great zone to look for. There you go. Kind of the target in theory, it may have been reached since the higher time frame analysis that we have been doing, expecting price to go take this high and go up. And basically, even if you do take a look at this Aussie pair, I did predict this high as well. I already have a video explaining exactly that. I made the prediction even when price, as soon as price broke this compression zone. So all this was compressed from this high to this high. All of it was compressed. As soon as I saw that compression happening, next target is the other extreme of the compression. Price doesn't need to go straight away. It actually went down, respected something, and then it went higher. And this actually is one of my favorite zones, a SR zone in there, with a fresh kind of supply zone, with a weekly or even monthly high that is visible, that he never really got to that zone to take the orders. So this was actually one of the predictions, and this was already in engulfed down. This could be a target, this low could be a target, this one could be a target. How this is compressed, how this is compressed, and this will be a natural next target as well. And then maybe something underneath could happen as well if price is about to go there. It's just filling spaces. Aussie just loves to fill spaces. The same in here. You can see next level of support resistance in there, and this high just stayed underneath that level, and there you go, filling spaces again. It just keeps filling spaces after we actually open the space to the downside after breaking that low. So beautiful PA on the Aussie around the spectrum. The same scenario in here. We just break a low in here, just break these lows after kind of respecting a little bit, and then we just go above these highs, fill whatever space is in there, and then we go down. So really nice PA in the bigger picture on Aussie. You can go study it and you'll see how beautiful this is. So what's next? What's next on the Aussie, right? A little bit similar scenario that I was looking at, on the pound. I really wanted a new low in there, and this low was created. And it didn't even break this one, so I actually wanted a new low, and I just stayed. Didn't look for the entry in here. This actually could have been a nice zone to look for. As soon as you break this one, could have been a nice scalp, just similar to what I did on pound. But eventually I wanted actually a new low be created, and then then I would be looking for that major reversal. That never happened, so I just stayed on the sidelines. Yesterday price decided to respect these initial demands, so that's where we are, and it left this on. I see this price for the future, this one. I think this is something where I may be looking for price to go to in the future, somewhere in here. We do kind of have this zone behind, and this was a nice demand. Again, it was still fresh, like the same scenario that I mentioned before. Price is about to reverse. It creates something at the origin, it goes up, creates a new demand in there, break a high price. Now it's going to either respect this demand initially and go higher, or it's going straight away to this one. High probability that this is the demand that's going to be held first. Price goes higher, that's whatever it needs to do. Now we have a double low in here, and that's where eventually price is going to go down. Take out that guy, go up, and ready to move higher. Pay attention to where this high is reacting to on the left side, and you have your setup in there. And if you don't trade in here, most likely you have that second opportunity, even avoid this guy, or to avoid to the previous high in here that is broken. That's your second entry in there. So yeah, I usually wait for this guy, so I don't really trade that much this guy in here. That's just me. You can trade this guy, and hopefully you traded it, and hopefully you did manage to get a winning trade out of this setup, because that's a good one in there. So Aussie breaking this guy. Oh, this is compressed. It has been creating highs as well. We have a accumulation of lows. This is exactly the type of PI that I like to see before kind of a major reversal. You can see that already the buyers are managing to get a little bit in control in here, retesting the previous highs. Okay, sellers still in there, but now they deep retrace, and now 1-2 touches the low, and you may be close to that reversal. Yeah, still be careful with this area, this guy in here, especially this one in here. Maybe something in there yet. Aside from that, almost all this looks compressed to me. Yeah, this supply has been taken by this guy, so almost all this looks compressed. This high in here was even taken already. So yep, I can even draw it like this. Another move higher. Second. Yeah, go higher. Yeah, maybe all the way until here. So eventually, it's just kind of the same scenario that I mentioned on the pound, that maybe eventually you're going to have that move up that's going to fill all this price. Expect price to go even above this guy, maybe not even in here. So there's already this week in here, maybe that's going to be your target. We can maybe see something like this. Of course, there's this guy in here as well that maybe go higher, but for now, this could be a good zone in there for some reaction. Then eventually price may go there. But let's see. First, how this one in here can be a good zone. So I'll be kind of looking for those long setups. Yep, it's an opportunity maybe to buy and hold if you do have then that confirmation that price is ready to fill this space. Interesting times ahead. But yeah, this is the moment where I haven't been bullish in that aspect for a while, because I've been always mentioning that zone on the left side. I want to see first that zone being respected or price to go there, and that moment arrived after I've been talking for the last kind of 2 months since I started to stream. It's actually almost 2 months since I started, 18th of May or 17th of May, and we did get to that level. So let's see. And the approach is nice, right? All this big compression, it looks nice. So there you go. This is Aussie. Actually, one of the good trades that I took. However, I didn't reach the second target. It was on the Euro Aussie. It was not on the Aussie dollar, but Euro Aussie. I look at this demand in there. We had these lows and I got long in there. This is actually kind of during the CPI. I reached first target. But my second target, unfortunately, not. It was... Yeah, I agree, Matom. I hope I'm saying your name correctly, by the way. I'm terrible at saying names. Yeah, it's like the market is positioning itself, or it's showing some interesting PI for maybe for a big reversal. And you may even create a new Vorbo, I don't know, but I think eventually you are going to be close to reach that, to fill that space that has been creating without that compression. And it may take just a few days, while it has been taking a few weeks to create all this move to the downside. It may take just a couple of days, I don't know, 3-4 days to maybe have that big move up. But yeah, as I was saying on EURUSD, I did got long after the break of this guy. I got long somewhere in here. First target was reached during the CPI. It was like it took half a second with a big spike in there. It was actually... It's dangerous actually to trade. Can you see all these big spikes? You can have slippage on this moment, so be careful with that. But yeah, first target got reached straight away, and I was indeed looking for... yeah, second target was around closer a bit to this size with this left shoulder price. Just decided to stop there. I decided to keep the trade open and to look for that second target in there. Somewhere in here during the night there was the sorry, there was the unemployment rate on the Aussie, so that's what kind of I was looking for price to still get there. It decided to eventually go down, even fake out my order as well, and then it went there. So no target 2 for me. It reacted within this spike in there. Don't really like that level. I liked this month, I didn't really like that level. In the end, I still like this kind of zone in here for the EURUSD. Maybe that's where we are going to. And if Aussie dollar is actually about to maybe create and reverse to the upside, maybe we could maybe expect EURUSD to maybe continue to the downside. However, EURUSD has been more controlled with what's going on the euro than the Aussie itself. How this move down it has been more because of the euro weakness, and yeah, but let's see. Maybe that could support the move to the upside on the Aussie. Maybe could support this move to the downside on the euro Aussie. Yeah, let's see. This one was, I think, it still respected it. Otherwise, maybe from here price can go down as well. Yeah, the touch in here, it was quite beautiful, right? Again, nice PI, price created in here. This was the zone that actually I was trying to look for a sell. I missed this sell in there for a little bit. Yeah, my sell was in here, this line, somewhere in there, and I missed it. And there you go, price even broke it. Broke these lows and then decided to still make a new fake out, just reacting from this IKM in there. So all these IKMs, they are really beautiful, a beautiful zone for price to react from. Dollar franc Swiss just reacted sizely from a zone like that as well, this last Thursday. Aside from that, as you can see, there was still kind of this supply in there. After this move, compression, that week never got there. Not this one, this one. Somewhere in there. So that week in there. So nice reaction from there. But in the end, this is kind of an engulf to the upside regardless. So this could be maybe a good zone. This has been taken, and maybe something underneath in here as well. But for now, this can be a good zone for price to at least react from. Yeah, that was one of the... I missed a lot of second targets during this week. Yeah, I mean, sorry. Maybe one day if we speak with each other, I will ask you to tell me your name properly, so I would start saying it. And thank you for joining the live streaming. And if you're getting value, I'm glad. That's the main purpose of doing this. It also helps me, to be honest. It actually helps me to look at it, and to anytime you explain something, when you are even if you are just recording to yourself, that's actually would be my advice: to start recording when you are doing your analysis, even if it's just to yourself. Like speak out loud while we are doing it, because sometimes you are just doing your analysis in silence. We think that our brain is processing everything, but when you start trying to understand or to explain to others the analysis or view in the market, maybe it's not as clear as we think it is when you are doing it in silence and automatically, right? So sharing, it's even just with yourself, record it, pretend that you are doing a class and explaining to someone else. Get used to that practice, and you'll see that you're going to improve a lot, and to get more certain about the concepts of your strategy and so on. So that was something that it helped me as well during the process when I started recording my analysis, and I was just doing it for myself. But yeah, I mean, super happy to know that the other yen pairs, actually, they have been quite interesting. A lot of moves. D0, again, if you have realized, I like to trade kind of the fake outs, and apparently euro yen decided to still respect this kind here. There's maybe a key M in there. This is a key zone, of course, this previous level, but I was actually waiting for price to go a little bit further down, maybe to do this and reverse, and price never did that. It's kind of a good key M in here, so this is actually a nice key M zone. I think you can see literally, right? We have the break of this high. So actually this could have been a nice zone to look for longs. However, sometimes when I get my bias of waiting for actually this guy to be broken, I kind of ignore, and then sometimes what it's going on in here. It's maybe something that I need to work on. Because yeah, just as you see, this entry actually maybe to have been great. Price reacting from here, it took this guy. But forget about it. It was 2 AM or midnight, so there was no chance to even participate on that. But this is a nice setup. Price went down. It respected this level, kind of the last demand zone in there, like the origin. We did have that engulf to the upside. How this is compressed is already even broken. So actually above here could be a nice zone to even look for targets or sells. And price is compressing down, respected in there. But in here kind of we start having those breaks, even though price actually still respected this supply. But yeah, if you are not still sure about this entry, then you have that second key M on the left side, somewhere in here. So you have that new demand in there. You have new higher highs being created. This most likely was news. You have this space still. And yeah, London Open. There you go. That's the trade. That was a trade for the London Open. We have the big spike up. Price just goes down. Beautiful supply in there, demand in there. So that was the trade. But I was still focused on my buys of waiting price for it to go down. So that never happened. Tell me that that's low actually respected. That low I respected. Yeah, nice PA in here, right? Maybe I should have ignored the fact that this one never actually respected it and just focus on what we had in here. And this is actually a nice PA. Nice PA to look at for our entry. There's everything. And it's not every time that we have price spending so much time in here to actually give us all these opportunities to look for the entry. But nice PA in there. And in here, again, nice reaction. So this one was the next zone that is fresh, retesting this guy. And just go from one side to the other and continue to continue to go higher. So the yen pairs, aside from the dollar yen, they have been offering nice moves during this week. Aussie yen, I think similarly as well, nice reactions. I'm looking a little bit for price eventually to go higher. It is respect to this level all the way down, and actually I'm expecting price to go a little bit higher on Aussie yen. Again, similarly, you see this guy in here, euro yen kind of respected it. Aussie yen actually faked out that level. This can be a good zone. This was a nice zone to look for sales in there. And eventually, if you do break out that, this may be all compressed and maybe start looking above it. Can be a possibility. Maybe somewhere in here, even though this one already took that one. So eventually expecting price to actually get closer to maybe this zone in here. And I need this left shoulder, maybe somewhere in there. But yeah, but we still have some space in here as well. So maybe some reaction could happen, just to retest in here and then go higher. And then depends. It has been compressing on way up. Basically, as you can see, all the demand zones have been taken as price is going higher. Maybe this one is still fresh. But yeah, strong compressions on way up. So let's see. I do like this level in there, above this level top, but this one can be interesting as well. So yeah, dollar yen. And we finally reached the 139 zone that I've been talking about as well for the last, I don't know how long. Now that we reached there, there's maybe more room to the upside. There's maybe more room still to the upside. But we did reach there finally, right above this high. I've been talking about it for quite a while, and we did reach this. Wait, just relax, wrong key. Use this one. This one. This actually is a great tool by the trading box. This possibility of, so when you so we are here in the present where price is, and when you have this horizontal line, right? So I click on this horizontal line, which is basically where price is reacting to, and if I want to know where is this guy reacting, this price in here reacting to on the left side, I literally just click on this option of break line, and it takes me to wherever was the last time that price reacted to this level on the left side. So there you go. We are here now. I wish TradingView had something like this instead of me always dragging the chart to the left side. So here we are at this level 139 something. We got to that point. We fake out this high. There's maybe a little bit more room to the upside maybe in the future. For now, we are here, and it's a nice week. It's a fresh week. I think it's visible as well on the monthly, which is kind of interesting. And yeah, the only thing that I wish we could see is lower time frame in that zone. I wish you could see the 1 hour, 30 minutes time frame and so on. But Tom, thank you, man. Happy birthday to your sisters. Are they twins? I know that you arrive on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Yeah, I'll be back on Tuesdays this week. So yeah, and if you have any charts that you would like to share with me for the Tuesday live stream, feel free to share with me, man. On Messenger, now that you're going to text me, feel free to share with me. And sister, okay. Happy birthday to her, and enjoy, man. Enjoy your Saturday, enjoy your weekend, and yeah, let's keep in touch. Thank you for being part of for interacting with me on the live stream. Yep, you are one of the first ones And yeah, I will not forget you. Believe me. I remember you. So yeah, enjoy your weekend, man. Enjoy your weekend. And yeah, so we are there, right? We finally got there. Unfortunately, we don't have more time frame PI to see exactly where price may react from. I haven't opened any short in here yet. Again, similar scenario. I was expecting kind of a little bit of a fake out in there, and that didn't really have. Thanks, man. Yeah, it didn't really happen, that fake out. So there you go. Interesting price that reacted from there. It came all the way down. It reacted from that high that I wanted to see be broken, and that weekly high. It reacted from there, and it went higher again. And I wanted something like this. I really wanted to see the highs being taken. They were never taken. So I'm still looking at it. It has now a double top, right? It has been respecting this next zone in here. But I will not be looking for any sell until we actually have now a new high in here. It can still be within kind of this rectangle, this big zone, but I will be waiting for something like this to look for that for that sell. I already have my alerts there. I don't even think that I'll be looking even within this level. I will be actually waiting for the move higher, even though I can see kind of there's maybe orders in here, even above this this high. However, I will be waiting for that double top to be broken. That's just what I will be doing, and I hope price gives me that chance to get short in there, because I've been predicting this level for a while, and I want to participate in the move. So are we going to fill out this space again? Of course, first zone maybe this level in here that price may react from. This was another trade that I missed my second target. I think I did already mention that last stream. I got short in here, exactly at his highs, and my target was kind of in here. And I was actually about to flip and go long in there. However, price never really broke these highs in here to give me the trigger. So I just stayed, kept short, and I did miss it. Yeah, I think my target was somewhere in here. Yeah, that close. So second target again that I missed it. It was a good one. After that, price just shoot to the moon, right? It never broke this demand as well. It already took the orders from there, so nice compression. So as I mentioned, kind of maybe this level can be the first one. Nice reaction already from here, so it's weaker, but we may have this left shoulder in there. This demand. I do have this line in here for a reason. Yeah, this is the beginning of this compression. So this is kind of the natural zone for price to go to, even fake out this level and go higher from that. Yeah, it would be nice maybe. Take these guys, go higher. Okay, let me do it from this side. Yeah, do whatever you need to do. It's 15 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes, because on 15 we can't even see that low. Okay. Yeah, take that demand again, go down. Hopefully you open to the downside and you take this guy. All right, hopefully you're going to take this guy from here. After that, you can even respect this one, or you can even go higher straight away, maybe respecting it, or can even go a little bit lower, even take this one as well. Like take one of these two. So either that one or even that one of those two, then go higher. Yeah, go higher after that. Respect a little bit, maybe there's still orders in there as I mentioned. Break one low. Let's pretend that these guys actually are going to manage to hold price up, hold price down, and then you have that fake out, that final fake out, and that's where I'll be trying to look for that sell. Maybe respect and these left shoulders that are in there, and then maybe this one in there. Maybe even have some kind of trend line. It can be a good trigger as well to look for sales. And there you go. We go down, expect one more time, and there, here we go. And then maybe we can finally fill this space in here that maybe you're going to see from here to here, first level, and then maybe even more to the downside. Let's see if something like that happens. Again, the Japanese yen is still in a lot of pressure with the yields, with the Bank of Japan still not doing anything. When we see that all the other central banks are hiking and increasing the interest rates, so Bank of Japan, let's see how it's going. What are they going to do if they just keep controlling the yield? 0.10 or 0.25%? I don't even remember now. Let's see. Otherwise, we're going to just keep seeing yen going higher and higher if they don't do anything. But let's see if dollar index actually may be about to go down, like I kind of mentioned in the beginning. Maybe we can see something like that happening. But so far, the move to downside, a lot of compression, and I'll be waiting for a new high. I'll be waiting for a new high, and then I'll try to look for that sell, depending as well of where the low is going to be made. So let's see what's going to happen in there. Let me actually take a picture of this. Again, guys, thank you for taking the time to watch it. If you have any comments, feel free to comment or to ask questions as well. That's the purpose of the live stream. If you have been following the stream, you could have noticed that the predictions of the zones that were pound, Aussie, dollar yen, even euro dollar, basically I've been talking about them for quite a while in advance, so maybe you can get some benefits from watching the stream. And we're about to go check crypto in a bit. It's another one that has been kind of behaving accordingly to what I've been saying. So this is dollar yen. Nothing much to talk about. Yeah, the bullish trend, it may still continue. This still may go higher, but let's see. That's my game plan for the week ahead, and what I just drew before. So let's see what's going to happen. In terms of looking for longs, again, kind of this level where price didn't really got there can be a good zone, or even just retest of this level. Previous zone can be interesting. Let's see. Let's see what's going to happen. So dollar CAD, another one that finally broke out its highs and big reaction. So really strong move in here. We had been broken this size. I think I mentioned before that was for me an engulf to the upside, kind of this break size, the break of this size. Price paused. It still managed to respect this one. Actually expecting price to go a little bit further down, but it did respect this level, and now it shoot to the moon. Again, another reaction, another pair that reacted exactly at around the same moment that the euro dollar created that spike down after below the parity, right? Another one. So all goes working at the same time. Where did it reacted from? Right? It was kind of expected, this strong move up. You could see, okay, this was a supply in there that price had respected quite a few times, but aside from that, all of it was compressed. All of it was compressed, literally. This is actually a zone that I was looking for a little bit. We actually had quite a few touches in there, and it looks like that's maybe still a fresh supply zone in there. Even though we have all these highs in here already, price may even go a little bit higher, but price decided to stop in there. We have this big spike. Actually, maybe let's try to take a look at that zone. This can also be maybe a good zone to look for. However, what was that spike? Oh, Jesus. There you go. It's actually a nice zone in here. This most likely has been some news event that had occurred back in November. Ah, this was election day. Yeah, this is election day, right? Was it 4th of November, last November? And Biden won? Was it 4th of November? Or 6th? Usually it's on the Thursday, right? And 6 looks like it's Friday, so... Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe it was election day, I don't know. Whatever, big spike in there. A nice, still nice supply in there. Overall, I was looking a little bit above. And eventually price can even go higher. I see this big compression as well. So far, we did have this zone in here as well. Okay. I think there's a concert going on outside my flat. So if you guys listen to any music, it's a live concert going on. Yeah, I think it's a concert going on. What's next? So we have this double top in here, double low in here. Maybe price wants to now to continue and move to downside. Again, we did create this range now. Price never really got close to these highs. So eventually we can see price going a little bit higher and taking these guys and maybe continue to the downside. Okay, the concert is live. Yeah, nice reaction in here. I don't know how much of the concert you can hear, but I can hear it a lot. Yeah, this demand zone still fresh. Maybe that could be a zone for price to go to, and eventually to break out this, maybe going to continue and go lower, right? Price had already broke this level, respected what in theory should have been respected as a long, right? Actually, in theory, kind of as a short. Price breaks the support zone, this resistance. It doesn't respect it as a support, and now it's respected on the opposite side. It has already had so many touches in there. So yeah. So that was CAD, and this was the dollar franc Swiss that I wanted to mention as well. That was the zone that I've been looking at, kind of the retest of kind of this low, or the zone a little bit above it. We have been moving a little bit in compression, so kind of how this range in here could be seen. Price going up and down, it did create this low, and now the fake out, right? And where did it react to? Basically to the IKM. So this is a KM zone. So I have this move up, move down, new higher high, and this is a zone where price should have kind of been respected to the upside, and it was not, right? Price just completely shoot through all this area. It was during the National Bank Swiss when they hiked the interest rate by 50 basis points. It's still negative, -25, but it was -75. They kind of surprised the market. Strong move to the downside. So that KM was not respected, and now it has been respected on the way up. As a sell. It was actually some zone in there. There is we do have this high in here. It never got close to that level. However, in 1 minute, I think there's a zone in there. Yeah, on 1 minute, this was the extreme. So this was the kind of the last PI created after this big spike down, and this is a good zone to look for entries, especially if this guy never gets closer to that zone. So there's still orders in there. So that's actually a nice zone. Aligned with that IKM, it becomes a really interesting level to look for sales. Aside from that, eventually price, I believe, eventually can go higher and even go a little bit closer to this to these zones. But for now, it was a nice zone to look for that sell. You can see the approach. You can see that price has been compressing. We start creating a few highs just underneath that level, and then another one that decided to go there around the same period of time, 2:30 on the Thursday, exactly at around exactly the same time that euro-dollar created that parity. So it was another one. So it was a full party of the algos working together. Yep, compression in there, compression, break of the low, and there you go. At this point we are in here. There's maybe more room to the downside. I was looking at this move in here, kind of a little bit similar to kind of the approach in there. So this is always a little bit of a tricky move. So price starts slowly moving upwards, but in a compression behavior, which is kind of going up and down. And then maybe you are thinking that if you are just paying attention, and this is one of the dangerous situations, and that's why it's important always to look to the left side. If you are just looking at the chart, this is a 1 hour time frame. So many people look at the chart like this. They just look. This is everything they are paying attention to. They are really paying attention to this bullish trend, and they see this high in here. Maybe they see now this wall being broken. Maybe this wall being broken as well, and they maybe just completely flip it. They start thinking maybe to look for sales at this possible double top that is being created in there. Or even in here now that we may have created this zone of resistance in there, right? But if you completely ignore what's going on the left side, you are losing a lot of information. And you need, especially if you just look at price action, you need as much information as possible based on price. And the only way to gather that information is to look left. So you need to look left. You need to be aware of where price is in order to start making those predictions of, okay, is this high actually kind of the last high? Are we expecting this high now to hold price down or not, right? Or is it this one the good one? Like, you need to look left to find out that, to gather that information. Otherwise, you're going to be missing a lot of information on your decision making, and you're going to be making mistakes that could be avoided just by zooming out and looking left. All right. Again, break off that one, go lower. And maybe there was a good opportunity in there to look for sales. So this is dollar franc Swiss. Let's see. I think I'm going to enjoy the concert after the stream. I think they're having fun in there. Right. So I think that's it for the FX pairs. I think I'm just going to take a look at the crypto, and let's take a look at what's going on the crypto space. So just give me a second. So here we are. Now Ethereum during the night, it broke those highs, while BTC is actually kind of compressing a little bit. So here we are on the crypto. Ethereum, there you go. It just, after we had created this double top, let me just check the more time frame. So after we had created that double top in here, right? Today we just faked out that double top. It didn't really get closer to that zone that I had in there, but we did created that move. In here, I think during the last live stream, I think price was around this area when I did last live stream on Wednesday, and I did mention the importance of this break of this highs with this fake out just before price went down to respect these lows and went higher, right? So this fake out that happened, or engulf that happened in the first place before the move down, that was a clear engulf to the upside. That price wanted to go higher, and higher it went. Actually kind of spiked, really nice and strong move. We had literally how this was compressed again. Similarly, This one was still a little bit fresh, and that's actually kind of where price reacted in here. This one was also a little bit fresh, and we saw that reaction. However, this was the new demand zone that was created in there. You can see it on the 5 minutes. Yep, so we have this demand. So manage your expectations in terms of targets. It's not just because price is reacting from kind of this supply in there that price is going to go and shoot to the downside. No, we kind of needed first this demand to be broken maybe before even looking for a bigger move to the downside. That never happened. It was respected, and after that price has been respecting. Actually, this move down, it's maybe the first move that went into this compression that has been created. Again, spike up, and now as a target, yeah, the other edge of this compression, it's a good zone. But that's actually one of the best setups. I've been mentioning that even during the last live streams, and something similar happened even a few weeks ago when price was going down. That in here, when you have that small break, that open space, and the space is not filled immediately, just wait for price to create kind of that last fake out. And then you can have a bigger target, a better entry, bigger target, because now you're not just filling the space until here or here, you're actually filling the space that this guy opened a little bit more further down. Yeah. So this is where we are. I have been bullish on the Ethereum. I made that video as well a couple of weeks ago. I have been bullish since we created this high in here. This for me was an engulf to the upside. Price then, yep, fake out is low as natural. We respected this kind of SR zone in there. There are still a few demands that I actually would like to see price going to, but we did head out this fresh demand. That's basically where this spike during the news went to. So now we did break that one. This could be a good zone, and eventually maybe this one 1428. But let's see exactly what's going to happen, because we may see that crypto is going to be ranging, and it may just go down now from here and maybe retest again the lows, or even this level somewhere in here, and it may be now bouncing in between this level of structure, just similar to what S&P and Nasdaq have been doing. So let's see. We did break this high, so maybe there's some more room to the upside. That's the information that I gather from it. But price can easily just go down again and retest these guys. There's still maybe some orders in here that I'll be looking for. But yeah. So far, we are respecting this level, and this demand needs to be broken if price wants to go a little bit farther down. And after that, we may go just respect this new zone that is in here, and after that, we may go and it may go higher. This high in here as well, it's not exactly that one. It's a little bit farther down. I kind of like this kind of zone in here. Could be kind of a nice target. It's actually aligned with this low as well. Right. BTC reached its target, so the same way that I was bullish on Ethereum before, it was also because I was bullish on BTC with breakout this high. It reached its target that I had mentioned it. It went all the way down. It still respected this guy in here. I think someone placed a lot of orders, a big order with this spike in here. And there you go. Similar scenario. We did broke these highs with that move higher. Opening space to go higher from there. Did break this compression, so I'm not sure if price had already reached this level. Price has been enjoying a lot the 20k mark, right? Kind of finding support resistance around that structure. That could be a zone where price may react to before it continue higher. Yeah, there's maybe this small space between this guy, even though maybe somewhere in here there's maybe some orders. But there is this space between this guy, these two. So that could be interesting as well. What is your take on crypto? What do you guys think? Again, higher time frame, I'm still thinking that this is not the bottom. But what is your view? This may be the lows now for the summer, and then after summer, I think you're going to have another bearish momentum in the market in September. Now that I'm thinking about it, exactly when I'm going to be on holidays, so maybe the right timing to be on holidays. Because I think the beginning of September is going to be interesting when everyone is coming back from holidays. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen now. Waiting for price to open more spaces. Bitcoin hasn't broken that space. Ethereum did, so maybe a little bit of a move to the upside can be expected. Maybe all this has been compressed all the way here. This could be kind of the next zone. Yeah, maybe. So let's see. In terms of possible target in there, this one is kind of compressed. This one is here. Yeah, something like this could be a good zone, or even fake out this guy completely and look for something else above it. Something like that. Let's see what's going to happen in there. And for longs, maybe can be even a continuation like this if this level hasn't been reached yet. This could be a good zone for possible continuation to the upside. I don't know if there's still orders in there. Yeah, let's see. Okay, guys, there's been another 1 hour and 45 minutes. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch to be here with me, or to watch then the recording. Feel free to ask me any questions, and if you'd like for me to take a look at, or starting to take a look at another assets and other pairs, feel free to let me know. Or if you want me to cover any specific topic as well on the Tuesday's webinar live stream, feel free to let me know as well. I'm enjoying the interaction, so thank you, Mathom, to be part of it. Glad that you managed to get your trades on the pound. And that's it, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Wish you guys a great weekend. And that's it. See you next Tuesday for the next live stream. Thank you so much. See you next time. Obrigado.